Welcome to the Manifestation, where we share our hard lessons so you don't have to learn them the hard way.
You had all these shows too, which, like, again, did you see any drugs, alcohol? No, these were regular black people living regular lives, showcasing their lives and how they navigate just day-to-day lives with their family members. We went from that to, like, House of Pain.
To who?
House of Pain.
Leave wigs alone. Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the manifestation, whatever you want to call it. My name is Mani, and on this podcast, together we will manifest the woman or man we always aspired to be. Now just wait a damn minute, because that isn't even the correct tagline. You guys, welcome back to the Manifestation, where together we manifest the lives of the women and the men our childhood selves always wanted to be. Now let's get into it. Okay, so this episode is going to be a little bit different because I have a special guest. But I want to start off with a song that I suggest you put on your playlist if you ever just want to feel in a good mood and feel like that girl, that guy, or that they, them. Okay? So I've done an Ari Lennox song before, but I feel like it kind of goes in theme with what this episode is about. So this week's song on the Manifestation playlist is going to be Ari Lennox, Outside. Okay. So, why I chose this song? If you listen to the lyrics, she pays homage. I don't know, people be saying that word all weird and stuff, okay? But she pays homage to a lot of classic black sitcoms. And am I saying a lot? I don't know if it's a lot, but enough, okay? I know that she shouted out Girlfriends, and I know she shouted out Eve, and I know she pays homage to Diana Ross in the song, okay? And it's just a cute song. Like, it's just a cute-ass song. I feel like it's no way you can listen to it and you're not going to feel like that girl when you go outside. Now, going into what this episode is about, we are talking about the representation of us, Black people, people of color in mainstream media. And yeah, that's basically what the show is going to be about. So I thought that song was very fitting, considering it pays homage to some shows that were really great representation of Black people in mainstream media. We're just going to get right on into this special guest that I have. I really hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed filming this, and I feel like there are going to be a lot of gems. Y'all let me know your takeaways from this conversation in the comments, and I would love to know your perspectives. I have one of my favorite people in the whole wide world with me. Y'all know I do not play about this girl, okay? I will run you over with my car for her. But not only is this one of my favorite people in the world, I think she is super talented and just very accomplished. And so I want her to give you an introduction because I want to talk about representation in media today and why representation of us, our culture, and everything that is encompassed in our culture is so important. But first, I just want her to tell y'all her credentials. And I don't want you to be humble about it.
Oh my God. Okay, so my name is Ugo, but I go by Gogo. So yeah, I worked in sports media for some time. I was also a producer for Snapchat. Yeah, and I had the show for about 3-4 seasons. And yeah, it was a great show. And also I've done a couple like media things here and there. And I've done some stuff with my girl here. I'm really trying to keep it light because we try to get to the nitty gritty.
I don't like when she do that.
But yeah, we had a podcast eons ago when we used to live in New York together.
Yes,
and
it was called Two Woke Girls.
Two Woke Girls. Okay, this is before woke became the woke that you see today.
And it was a hit. It was getting way more listens than my podcast. I'll tell you that. It was damn sure getting more traction.
Woo, child. We had a podcast before our podcast was a podcast.
Yes. She also was the producer of I had a show on an independently run network. Yes. I'm not gonna name it because it was really not a good experience.
He still owe her money. A lot of it.
A lot.
You better pay up soon. Yes. But I used to produce for that show. And yeah, it was a vibe. It
really was.
Let me tell you about this girl. She is going to be on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You heard it here first. She's trying to be humble too, but this girl's so talented. She's an actress. She's a model. Like,
I don't model.
It gives space. You used to model.
I didn't.
We're just going to go with it. Look at the face. It needs... All right, TikTok following.
We will spend this whole time gassing each other, girl. They're going to think we some lesbians. We just really love each other. Before I moved to New York, I lived in New York for a year. She was out in New York at NYU. Yeah. And I remember, like, I called you and was just like, I feel so trapped here. Like, I was so over Georgia. And you were like, girl, come to New York, stay with me. Like, we're going to make this happen. And I'm like, how many people you got living there? You're like, it doesn't matter. The other two girls are going to leave. Like, she did not care. She said, come live with me. And child...
The stories that came out of that apartment.
We should really write a show on that alone.
Yeah.
But let's get into it.
Yeah.
So, as you know, the Oscars just passed, and I want to know, as a producer, what were your thoughts on that?
I feel like the Oscars is just, I don't know. Like, I try my best not to pay attention to the Oscars just because I just feel like it's not really a true representation of the talent that Hollywood possesses. Like, when I think about people who have been shunned many times in Hollywood, I think about I don't want to say, how can I put it? I feel like the Oscars caters to a certain demographic while completely ignoring a demographic who completely deserves the recognition that they need. They deserve all of it. And watching this one, the one that really, really surprised me and upset me was Greta from the Barbie movie. I really thought she would have at least got one. And I noticed that a lot of it went to Ryan Reynolds. Is it Ryan Reynolds? Is that his name?
I don't know these people's name.
Ryan Gosling?
I didn't watch the damn Oscars.
What? But when you think about people like Halle Berry and her only being the only black woman till this day to win, like, what was it?
Was it best
female actress? We've only had one, y'all. One. And the other one went to, what's her name? From Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh.
The Asian actress. Those are the only two people of color that have won anything concerning the best female actress. Everything else has been the supporting actress role.
Right.
Who was it? Lupita.
Interesting.
And now, what's her name? Devon. Like, the representation Oscar is very minimal, I think. And I don't know what's going to change. Either we just stop paying attention to it, or I don't know what else to give, because I feel like our people are giving content. We're really giving the girls performances. Like, Angela Bassett was robbed. I will continue to say that. And then they gave her that honorary... Listen, nobody wants a participation award.
I feel like
trophy. Nobody.
It was like they'd seen all the talk about, it's crazy Angela Bassett doesn't have an Oscar yet, and I feel like they were just trying to get people to shut up already. Like,
but it's still giving participation trophy.
Yeah,
like, no matter how you slice it or dice it, like, it's not. I don't know. It's giving like, here, damn. That's what it was.
Yeah. I completely agree.
It's like, here, damn, take it. Oh, complaining ass. Like, literally. And I hate that for her because she is so talented. When you think of, like, her catalog, one of the most talented black female actresses I think we have in this day and age. And I really hope that they do right by her and give her a real Oscar, not an honorary one. Just like they gave Samuel L. Jackson a honorary one. Like, stop playing with these people. They are putting their dues. And when you compare their performances to others, because I love movies. I love watching movies. Some of them really do be robbed.
Yeah.
They be robbed.
Who is what is a film that you watched and you felt like that, like, damn, like a specific film and actor you felt like what is the most recent thing that you've watched where you really felt like, okay, they've been robbed?
I personally think that definitely Angela Bassett was robbed for Black Panther. I, compared to Jamie Lee Curtis, I kind of felt that Angela gave more raw passion, raw acting, more emotion. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis, they put her in a fat suit and gave her extra fingers.
Girl, wait. I gotta start. Y'all, I do not know. I don't watch, Lord forgive me, I really don't be watching white people. So I don't be knowing none of this stuff. What movie was this?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Girl, baby.
No, you should really watch it. It's a really good.
And I'm trying to get out of that. I just feel like you see so much of.
It's an Asian film though.
It's like they're in literally everywhere all the time.
But it's just an Asian film.
I know, but I'm just saying. I just be like, where the niggas at? So I don't know what's going on. So I'm glad
I am hot. Also, if we're talking about just being robbed, Issa Rae.
Yes.
You were talking about this. Insecure did not win no Emmy. I mean, they won. Did they win? I think they won one. And it was for like...
I don't think they got an Emmy.
I think it was like wardrobe or something.
Really?
Something minuscule. Like,
I don't think they got anything.
Maybe you're right.
I don't think they got anything.
And when you think about the cultural like impact that Insecure has made on just culture period and the Black community, it baffles me that she didn't win anything. Like, I really think I was watching, was it season, when did Lawrence and Issa start talking again? Was it 4?
Yeah,
season 4, the episode where Lawrence and Issa went on like the date. The cinematography alone, I felt, should have given them something, right?
Yeah.
They got nothing. Then season 5 came along, and I was like, okay, this is the last season.
Yeah.
Just like what y'all did for, Schitt's Creek, when y'all was just throwing them all these awards because it was their last season. I was like, okay, well, Insecure to get all these awards.
Those are some white people I did watch.
Schitt's Creek is really good. Really good. But I also felt like Insecure is such a great show. The acting is great. What is it missing that it didn't deserve at least one Emmy?
Not a damn thing.
What is missing? I asked questions like, what is missing?
You know what is missing? Remember earlier I was talking about, for instance, I really, like, I don't watch Abbott Elementary the way I did Insecure, but I love it. I love the representation. I think it's really great. I think it's needed. However, why I think it's so well received is because it's very inclusive. And that's why I think they're willing to, like, give more awards. With Insecure, what I think it was missing was they really just don't like to see a show be very, very black. It was a very black ass show. It was very like, if you are watching with white people, there are definitely going to be times where you have to pause and you have to explain to them, this is what these colloquialisms mean.
Right.
This is what this like means.
Right.
Why do they do that? Oh, they wear this at night because this is what happens to our hair. Like, it was a very black ass experience that it was a lot of things that happen when you're in the culture, you just know.
Right.
And I feel like, from the outside looking in, maybe there was things y'all don't get, and for me, I would just love for us to find a way that celebrating ourselves and getting roses from our community, getting our flowers from our community is really just enough. And that's why I stopped watching the Oscars.
For sure.
Last time I watched the Oscars, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, and that was only because I had to rewind it because everybody was talking about it. I said, hold the fuck up! Did this nigga just slap this man on TV?
Where was I when I was watching? Where was I?
I had to, the world stopped.
You know where I was? I was taking listen, I ain't got no money now. I didn't have no money back then. So I was taking the Amtrak to Atlanta. And they had the Oscars playing, right? So, everyone just sitting watching. We watching, Chris Rock on the news a little bit or whatever. We see Will Smith get up and slap him. I said, oh, they joking.
I thought it was a skit.
But then he sits down and he's like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I said, they cursing? They cursing a lot too.
That's kind of raunchy for the Oscars.
I said, why they cussing? said, "You should bleep this out." And I said, "Wait a minute, this sounds serious." And then he said it again. And here goes Chris Rock. I will. I bet you will. Woo!
That coon needed to be slapped.
Let me tell you something.
Sorry.
It was confusing, right? And then I get on the Amtrak, right? And I pull up my phone. I go on Twitter. I said, "Oh, this shit was real." There was a lady sitting next to me. There's a black lady. She said to me, she said, "You saw that goddamn slap?" I love black people. I said, "Yeah." Girl, we talked about that slap the whole ride to Georgia. We talked about that slap. She could not believe it.
God bless her. I hope she doing well. Because imagine if he was next to one of those that was like, "Oh my gosh, this is deplorable. This behavior exhibited at the Oscars was just so... Will Smith, you're such a dangerous man."
Girl, people get hit every day, B. Literally.
Every day.
But yeah, it's like, oh, that was the last time you watched the Oscars? I mean, I think that was the last time.
And I didn't really watch it. It was really just like... I was at my dad's house and it was like...
It was on, right? Like, to this day, I don't know. I mean, Will Smith did win it. Like, he finally won the Oscar. He deserved it. He did an awesome job in that Serena Williams movie. What was it called? King William or something? Mm-hmm. Awesome movie. I just wish it wasn't marred by the slap. That was the only thing I hated about it. Like, it really ruined his moment. But at the same time, keep my wife safe.
Sometimes you just gotta slap a bitch on sight. I'm sorry. Some people get way too comfortable disrespecting people, but especially black women. But that's a whole different episode.
But yeah, I mean, even to the Grammys, the Oscars, I watch the Oscars because I'm really just interested to see, like, you know, especially the Emmys and the Oscars. I just watch it to see, like, who the winner and the losers are, and I always want to know why. I always want to know why. Like, who's gonna win? Like, some people, it's well deserved. Like, people, they do phenomenal work, and other people, I'm just like, that could have went to this person. Like, no offense, Oppenheimer. I saw both. Oppenheimer was a snooze fest.
Oh shit!
And I love history. I'm a history nut. I love everything about World War I, World War II, Vietnam War. I love. You think this bitch was still
in school? What are you doing? I'm watching a documentary.
I love
that though. Yeah. I love it.
I just love, like, history and all that. So, like, I was excited to watch Oppenheimer, and I can see why it won all these awards, right? Mm-hmm. But then when I think about the cultural impact of Barbie, and like okay, Oppenheimer had his, like, moment, but, like, Barbie was like a cultural movement. So for Greta to get shunned,
yeah, you know what else? What crazy. I love about Barbie though. I love how the message was like, how can I say this? Oh, fuck it. I was trying to sound smart. Multiple generations were talking about this, and it kind of made people have a deeper conversation. Yeah. Like, my brother, he's 19 years old, and him, and, like, I'm on TikTok, and I'm seeing, like, Gen Z really talking about misogyny and how to dismantle it, and then I'm seeing a deeper conversation of how
Ryan Gosling, that's his name.
Ryan Gosling. Yeah. How feminism looks different depending on your culture, what feminism looks like, and how white women can be advocates for black women with certain things, and just, like, I'm seeing different conversations happening that are very important, because the truth be told, like, I like to say, honestly, if we really get into it with feminism, I can't rock with, that's a whole nother conversation, but white women in their feminism often just serves them, and I feel like there was a lot of conversation of the disparities that women of color have that they may not be privy to because of the privilege they have. And it was really cool seeing this conversation happen with, like, young girls. Like, I loved it. And then even, like, young boys you know, in this conversation, I really love seeing that, how it just intersected different generations and caused a bigger conversation. Like, because at first I'm like, Barbie, this is going to be about toys. Like, I thought it was just going to be a little girly, kidsy movie. I'm like, where are they going with this? And it's like, oh shit, there's like a deeper conversation to be had here than the outfits that Barbie's wearing.
Yeah.
You know, even just about, you see that scene where she's like, do any of y'all ever think about dying? And everybody gets like,
yeah.
And that's like,
it's real.
It's real. Like, you live in this world where you're just in a hamster wheel and you go day by day by day, and like, you're worried about getting this goal and that goal and that goal, and it's like, wait, what are we here for? You know?
Yeah.
I that's what so when you say like the cultural impact, I completely agree, because
for sure.
I love the conversations that were being had around that film.
It actually made you like think. Also, I mean, Barbie, it was for kids, but it kind of wasn't for kids. Like, it was a lot of adult elements that I don't think a lot of kids probably wouldn't have understood. But like, I really enjoyed the movie, like, for what it was. Even like Ken's journey about like masculinity and what that looks like, because he lived in a world, he came from a world where women kind of ran everything, going into our world where it's a man's world, basically. Right. And how that impacted him going back to Barbie world and making Ken Land or whatever the hell that was, or Mojo Dojo Casa House. But like,
do it again.
Mojo Dojo Casa. Girl.
My bad. My bad.
But like, I kind of felt, at least for me, I know some people will disagree that Oppenheimer was this amazing movie, and it was, but for me, I felt that Barbie had a way more significant cultural impact than Oppenheimer. And I would have thought that Greta would have got something, because she made an amazing film. She broke so many records as a female director, and it was kind of disappointing to see her get shunned. But then they gave an award to Ryan Gosling.
I wonder why.
Margot Robbie, nothing.
I wonder why.
And Margot ate down. That girl. Let me say something about Margot. If we want to talk about range,
girl,
Margot Robbie, girl, Margot Robbie.
I don't know a whole lot of white people, but I know about them. I'm saying I really don't, but I know about that one.
Her range is impeccable. Like, I don't think there's no role she can't do, honestly. Like,
I agree.
She, some people be in a box, like, initials are SJ. That's not Margot Robbie. You know the initials? Okay. Yeah.
I have a comment on Margot Robbie and why I admire her range. I feel like a lot of times women can get in a Margot Robbie is beautiful.
Oh, gorgeous.
Stunning. She's hot.
She was Barbie.
And she's Barbie. Yeah. And you can get put in a box of just like, it's easy. How can I put it? Because I don't know if anybody knows, but like, I'm on a little journey to becoming an actress. So there are things I pay attention to, and I feel like even though she's very attractive, I feel like some people use that as a blanket. They don't go the extra mile with how they convey emotions. They get comfortable in the fact that they look good, like they're beautiful, they're already pretty, so they don't really go the extra mile for their emotions. And I feel like she does a great job at going the extra mile to convey the emotion. Also, Emma Stone is another. I don't watch a whole lot of white people. I love Emma Stone. I really admire her as an actress, and I feel like she's a great example. I'm not gonna compare her physically to Margot Robbie because I feel like other people might have their disagreements. I personally think she's a very beautiful woman, but she started like mostly comedic. Yeah, and I also feel like comedic actors, when you give them the chance, those very hot people that can break that barrier and still really convey emotion to me, impress me. And comedic actors turn dramatic actors, they usually always impress me, but they very rarely surprise me, because I feel like the thing about comedy is what I was explaining earlier. you're forced to be uncomfortable. You're like already used to doing things that's like seen as goofy or whatever. So going the extra mile with a emotion of like sadness or trauma or I'm feeling sorrow or whatever is not hard because you already have been out the box and done some of the most extreme goofy shit to make people laugh. So you're used to kind of getting out of the average person's comfort zone. So
who's your favorite comedic actor turned drama or serious?
Regina Hall. I don't know if that's good or bad. I like when I think about my desire, like wanting to become an actress, I literally look at the trajectory of her career and I'm like, that's what I want. That's how I see myself. You think of comedy, you can see her, you give her a dramatic role, she's gonna eat down, and she's another one of those actresses that's insanely beautiful and could really just thrive off of just I'm a beautiful girl and let me get the role of a hot woman. But she does like the comedy, she could easily be a Megan Good. And I'm not saying this in a shady way because I admire Megan Good as well, but I do feel like she was put in a box. She could easily be that and just be like always casted as like the hot girl or whatever. And I feel like slowly Megan Good is getting out of that, but comedy, drama, whatever, you give it to her, she's going to eat it up.
I just talk about Will Smith.
Will Smith is another favorite, but like me personally, like definitely Will Smith is up there and I admire him for something else. But I respect black love, so I'm trying to be respectful. But if y'all still be having entanglements and stuff. Okay, let's skirt to another. Okay, this is what I want to ask you. As a producer, have you ever had conflict where you want to create something, that's reflective of just little things within your culture, but you can't because of who you work for or the audience or
Right. So I was with a sports media company. I will not say the name. And under this company, I was a producer for Snapchat, and Kobe Bryant had just died, and we made this. When I say we made the most beautiful show to put on Snapchat to commemorate his passing, and it had the culture, it had the knowledge, it had the emotions, like it had everything. And you know, we showed it to other people in the office, loved it. The higher ups saw it and we thought they were going to be blown away. They said, take it down. We were like, excuse me? They were like, take it down. They were like, we will not show this.
Oh my God.
And we were like, why? And they were like, we want to make sure that we are respectful to the Mamba Foundation. And I'm like, what are you talking? What in this is disrespectful? They didn't give us a clear answer, so the episode never aired, and it was heartbreaking. It was, yeah. It was
How was paying him homage disrespectful to his?
I don't know. They never really gave us a straight answer, but I would just never forget. We really put our heart and soul into that episode, and I really wish I could find that episode and show people. But it was such a great episode. Like, there were people crying on camera, like really showing how they felt about the cultural impact that Kobe made on them. Like personally, some of them were ball players and like what that looked like and how like that Mamba mentality, they applied it to like their personal lives and to their personal careers, and they scrapped it. And that's when I was like, that's when I started saying, yeah, I might not be able to stay here much longer. But before I could quit, they fired me because of COVID. But they couldn't wait to get rid of my ass. I was way too black. Way too black for them. They could not stand
we gotta
me.
get this hard ER out of here. What does she think this is? Hooray Media?
Can someone tell them this is an all-white party?
What does she think this is? BET? Get this jigaboo out of here.
You know, I had to go on, you know, unemployment, which is not, but that was not funny, okay? That was messed up. And they took away, like, everyone that got fired, majority of us were. I'm not going to say her name, but if you're watching this, you know what you did. You know what you did.
And if I find out who you are, I'm gonna run you over with. Damn, I don't got a Kia no more.
Blessings are coming. Blessings are coming. But yeah, girl, that was probably one of, like, the hardest things is, like, being a producer and realizing, like, my vision sometimes will not align with, like, the company or the media company you know what I'm saying, or, like, who I work for. If my vision doesn't align with theirs, it will probably get scrapped, right? So that makes me also think about, like, just, like, Issa Rae and her relationship with HBO and how all her shows just keep, like they keep giving it a chop. Like, Sweet Life.
And they are amazing.
Amazing. Like, if you've never seen Sweet Life, go watch it. I don't know if they took it off.
I think it's gone. I think it's gone from the platform.
Oh, wow. If you haven't seen Sweet Life, it was like a California version of Baldwin Hills.
Yes.
Literally.
I love Baldwin Hills.
Baldwin Hills.
Is it Baldwin Hills in California, baby?
It's like a South Central. It's like a South Central version of Baldwin Hills. Don't do me!
I think it's in the
Don't do me!
It's the same place.
It's a South Central version of Baldwin Hills. That's what I want to say. These kids are a little bit more. What's the word?
Well, with Sweet Life though, the difference, Baldwin Hills really was kids.
Oh, for sure.
The other thing I liked about Sweet Life was it was right in our pocket. Like, I was like, I'm so tired of seeing coming of age anything, and it's always about teenagers or whatever. It was at the time it came out, we were around the same age.
Yeah, around the same age.
As they were like in their later 20s and in navigating relationships or navigating singleness while they had their friends had relationships, their careers, etc. So it was perfect. It was TV perfection.
And they chopped it.
And they got rid of it.
And then rap shit chopped it.
And that was perfection.
I feel like we weren't even touching. We were going up the mountain. We was going up the mountain, and before we could reach the mountain, they just chopped it. Like,
I'm not even playing. I need somebody. If nothing else, can the writers start when this shit get canceled? If nothing else, turn the rest of it into a book. I need to see Charity's transition into becoming the villain. I have to see that.
And I think that's what hurts me the most. You could see the betrayal she felt from them. And she said, I got something for y'all. Oh!
Yes. And she ate that role. Now, if that would have got more seasons, she was going to get an Emmy.
Oh, honey.
She was Emmy bound.
She was going to get something.
She was going to get something.
Something.
You know what? I'm going to give her an honorary. This is not the Emmys. I'm going to give you hold on, shut up. I'm trying to give her an award. Sincerely, from the Manifestation Podcast, I'm going to give you your flowers, baby, because if you don't get it at an award show, I know Twitter and everything like that, I'm going to give you an award. This here cup, baby, it's yours. You did that.
I'm a guest on the show. I'm a guest on the show.
If you ever felt you didn't get your flowers, that was an Emmy.
Can we just talk about
Emmy Award winning performance?
How she went from Bad Girls Club,
to
this girl.
It's giving Cardi B of Love and Hip Hop, Bad Girls Club. You really took that opportunity and you flipped it and really made it work.
I commend that.
Yes,
you really could have been on Baddies.
And
you could have been on Baddies.
And the way that, let's get into that.
Baddies, shot o'clock.
First of all, Natalie Nunn is a loser. If nobody else is gonna say it, I'm gonna say it right now. She's a loser. She's funny looking. She's a racist. Everybody keeps talking about she's a colorist. She's a racist. So what I'm gonna say is this: I would love to see a platform that Issa Rae, any black director, any creator that has ideas of substance. I would love to see a platform like the way that Zeuss has their own like independent platform. I would love to see that for us, and we can control the narrative and we can control how many seasons we have, etc. What's really sad is we have Zeuss owned by a black man, and then you have this this coon, this, I wouldn't even say coon, because Natalie Nunn is white. She's a white woman cosplaying as a biracial girl. She's not mixed. When she first got on Bad Girls Club, everything she was saying was racist and colorist. She is still that girl. She's one of those people that she uses our culture to get what she needs, because for some reason we are going to tune in. I always watch her content and I think about that scene in the Django. We was talking about it in the car when they had the slaves fighting each other in front of the slave owners, and they were fighting each other until one person's complete demise. And I feel like that is exactly what Baddies is. You get this group of women with low self-esteem who don't come from much, aside from the few they get from like other reality shows. But notice they're not the ones treated like show monkeys. You get these women that really need this. You exploit them. They look like they have very bad hygiene. There was no need for me to say that, but I want to say it. They look like they have bad hygiene, and you get them fighting each other for views and for money. And we're sitting there tuning in all the time, all so that you can fill the pockets of a woman who says the most colorist, racist thing she could ever say. There was just audio leaked of her about talking about dark-skinned women as if you are not every single day cosplaying as a fully black woman with 2 black parents. However, you would never know what that plot is like because you are white. And you got a BBL to still be bad built. Now I want to hear your thoughts. What?
Why'd you eat her up?
I'm sick of this shit. Sick of her and her chin.
I do agree with you. Like, if Issa Rae made like her own network, right? Like how Zeuss has their own network, and she told me it was $50 a month. I said, Issa, take my money. Take my money, because not only would I know that the show will not get canceled, I'm getting my storylines. I'm gonna get quality content. One thing about Issa Rae, whatever she puts her name on, it's quality content. When I tell people, if I could be like anybody, I would love to be like Issa Rae. Just the way she does her content, the way it's black, unapologetically black. How she's unapologetically black. Like, she doesn't care like about none of this. Like, she's just herself. She loves being black. She shows black culture. She shows black culture in a positive light, right? Like, of course, Insecure, you know, and the storylines had so much depth, right?
Yes.
And now that I'm in my 30s, right, I watch it from a different lens. I'm like, oh my God.
Yes, same.
Oh my God.
Same.
She knows me.
You can rewatch it from different eras of your life. Like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
It's a show that grew with you.
Yeah, it grew with me. And then going back and watching it now that it's on Netflix, it's on HBO still. I'm watching it, and like the season I'm in my life that applies is when like Issa and Molly were having issues. That's the season I'm in right now. Like, and it's just like it's like at the end of the season, right? I don't know if you remember, there was just, I forgot this one line that I was like, man, this show is so good. At the end when they're sitting together
in the bathroom.
No, when they're sitting together at the end, when Molly comes in and Issa was like, thanks for calling. And then Molly's like, thank you for listening, or something like that. Thank you for showing up.
This was season 5?
No, it's the one that got in the argument. It was like season.
Oh, okay. Was it season 4?
Was it season 4?
Wait, it might have been season 3.
3
after. No, it was season 4 because
it was season 4.
She had that event. And,
yes, season 4. So at the end when she was like, thank you for showing up, and then Issa was like, thank you for calling. The whole issues that they were having was Molly felt like Issa was not showing up for her. And then Issa felt that, Molly, you're not even telling me what the issue is, right? So at the end, when Molly said, thank you for showing up, and Issa said, thank you for calling, I said, oh my gosh, who wrote this?
Sometimes that I you know, and now that you're saying that, I feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling, and it says thank you for. It was something like that, and I was like, that was the whole premise of the season of their argument. Like they were not. It was a huge misunderstanding, miscommunication. Issa was just saying, Molly, you're not talking to me. You're not telling me what's going on. You expect me to show up for you. I don't know what's going on. Molly's like, girl, I just want you to show up for me. That's all. Period. Show up. Just show up. Show up.
You'll find out when you get here. Just show up. We can sit in silence.
So when I saw that, I watched it in my 30s, and I was like, oh my God, this show is just so beautiful. It's so poetic. If you sit down and you look through all like the whole Lawrence and Issa BS, there is so many gems in Insecure. And honestly, Issa, if you're watching this, girl, you could have gave us at least 2 more seasons. 5 wasn't enough.
It wasn't.
5 wasn't enough.
But let me tell you something. 5 was not enough, but I am grateful.
Grateful.
For every single season. It was such
every
quality
30
television.
minutes, even though I know we got on your nerves and said, girl, make it an hour. And you were like, go to hell. And you said, that's fine. We're going to go to hell, but we're going to keep watching.
We're going to keep watching.
Mama.
The best 30 minutes of my life. I'd be waiting for that 30 minutes.
And like I said, like Twitter on Sunday,
it was a family affair. We was tuned in. In the same way, and we was like that for rap shit too.
Yeah, tweeting. And I'm just really sad that rap shit didn't really get the longevity that it deserved, because it really deserved longevity. And I don't know if Issa needs to go back and shop rap shit to other networks. I don't know what the contract looks like, but it cannot end.
We gotta
how
get
it ended, because it's giving girlfriends, it's giving Moesha. Because who kidnapped Miles, Lil Kim? We
need to know. Master P. We need to get you on the line. Where's Miles at? Whose baby was that? Who's pregnant?
Who was it? We have so many questions. Y'all pulled a Moesha on us for rap shit, and I don't like that.
And you know what? I was just like, I just hope that era. I remember when it happened. It was like one day UPN went from UPN, where you watching all the black shows, and then it was CW, and it was like One Tree Hill, and like all the
Gossip Girl.
It's like
Gossip Girl ain't down.
I never got into it.
What? It's so good.
I didn't like seeing. I told you I don't like seeing all them people, all them type of people on my TV at one time. I get the heebie-jeebies.
No, watch Gossip Girl. Gossip Girl is really good.
I'm one of those people. When I walk into my house, I'm sorry. Outside in the world, you see well, you know how some people be like, when I'm around too many black people, I get so scared. I want to clutch my pearls. That's how I feel around. I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. I'm sorry. It's too many stories about something happening to the one black girl in the room. So when I come home, that's my haven of like, oh yes, safe space. My people, my niggas. I can't, don't voluntarily, no shade. I don't be like, oh gosh, I just can't wait to watch this show with all white people. Like, black people just don't exist in this world. And I was so happy to see like something like rap shit and Insecure, where you have your characters every now and then that's, white, but like the leads and the main characters, it was like, no, this doesn't have to be an inclusive thing. We don't always have to make other, forget other cultures, because people of color, like, I feel differently about. I do want to see more stuff with other cultures besides these people. But it's like, we don't have to make you a part of our story for it to be successful. And I do feel like when they are not included in that way, when we don't somehow center them in our story, they kind of punish us.
Yeah.
Hell, I feel like in Soul Plane, for instance, crazy thing to bring up, but that white family that they like, why do we didn't need them.
First of all, Soul Plane.
And it's not. And listen,
no, wait. You can't even. Wait.
Quality. You get what I'm saying? But it's just an example of how we just throw them in our stories and we don't. Really.
I watched Soul Plane the other day. I said, ain't no way in hell you connect it today. Ain't no way. Do you remember when the Muslim man?
I feel like you finna what?
Remember the Muslim man was like, oh, this is Bob. And then stop! Why did y'all put that in there? That is so ignorant. And it was around this was like post 9/11 talking about, he said, oh, this is the bomb. And then all the music like scratching. And then Monique is like holding her little tea and saying, I was like, what is this? Watching it back, I'm like, this is so racist.
It is.
Girl,
it is.
Was a mess. Every time I see that part, I'm like, who signed up? Who signed up on this? Like, Child, y'all could have cut that scene. That was not. Looking back, I'm like, that's so messed up.
All we did was bootleg it though, so they could keep. Ain't nobody buy that shit.
Nobody buy Soul Plane. Or you can catch it up on BET, honestly. BET loves Soul Plane and Baby Boy. Soul Plane and Baby Boy and Tyler Perry films.
Before we get too far, I do want to ask this because we talked about it earlier. I forget his name. The black director that did the, I think it was American Fiction or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
He did his speech, and there were a lot of people offended by his speech.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Hold on, I gotta get his name right. I want to make sure. American Fiction, and it was by Jefferson, right? That's him.
Girl, you gotta look at the Googles.
I am looking at the Google.
I'm not the Googles. I don't know this man.
Yes, it was. Also, shout out to the NAACP Image Awards. Thank you for showing our people. His name was, yes, Jefferson. I was right. So, I was kind of shocked by the backlash of it all, right? Mm-hmm. Like, when I think about black stories, right, and we always hear people say, like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of seeing these slave movies. I'm so tired of seeing these little hood movies. Like, we're more than that. We have something that's more than that, right? And he's vocal about it, basically saying, like, look, I'm showing you that there is money and there is prosperity and there is value in these stories, right? Where it shows that black people can be regular people living these regular lives and they can have these transformative stories and narratives. It doesn't always have to be a slave movie. It doesn't always have to be like, you know, a hood movie, someone shooting or doing drugs. And people got mad. And I was shocked. I'm like, ain't he saying what we've been saying
it for years?
Is it that it's because he's not the proper vessel to be saying it? You know what I'm saying? Because he isn't our complexion. So is it the right message, wrong messenger? Because I was confused. I'm like, he's literally saying what we've been saying. And it's like, we do need more stories. Like, I don't want to keep saying, no offense, you know, BMF is kind of cool. But I don't want to keep saying Power, BMF. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Like, I really want to see more shows like Insecure. Like, I really do. Like, where it's black people just living regular lives. Like, we don't have to be like, oh, I'm black. I'm wearing a bonnet to sleep. Okay. Hey, it's Sunday dinner. Big Mama, where's your arm? What happened to your leg? like blackish and mixedish. Like, I love it, but it was so like,
the blackish wasn't even black. Let's start there.
I don't
Blackish was mixed-ish. Let's start right there. They literally, oh my goodness, this finna piss me off. Blackish was mixed-ish. I'm so sorry. I have to say it. You went and had blackish with all these mixed-ass motherfucking kids, and then you made mixed-ish. Where are the niggas? Where are the... I'm sorry. Where are the niggas at? Where are we at? And then you have this story about colorism because what's her name? Marseille's character. It somehow turned into a show that should have been focused on, like, you know, what you go through as a dark-skinned black girl. And I wouldn't be able to relate to this, but with a lighter skin or mixed race mother, you know, I could only imagine how that is. However, my daddy likes black women. Power to the people. So I was blessed to have, you know, I was able to have somebody really walk me through that journey of being a fully black woman and owning it. But however, you couldn't see that story because it quickly turned into a show about colorism and then somehow turned into what light-skinned people deal with. I hate, let me tell you something. Black, what's his name? Whatever your name is, your obsession. I don't want your views or anything on blackness again. You are the expert on biracialness. You are the lotto expertise. We don't need you doing anything that has to do with blackness again. Can we get something with full blackery? Thank you. So I'll say that
I am hollering
on that.
What's
But I really
Kenya
did.
Barris.
Kenya Barris. You are the mulatto expertise, and keep making content about that. And you know, it's needed. it's needed. But for you to have a show called Blackish and everybody mixed except maybe 2 people, no thank you. That's not a blackity black experience to me.
I am hollering. I would just like to see, like, going back to like the American fiction, right? There is money and prosperity in these stories, and we used to have those stories back in the 90s, early 2000s, when networks really needed black viewership to increase their ratings, and once they got it, we got this. I was watching a documentary on this.
She gonna watch a documentary.
I watched a documentary on this, and
I love it.
Like a couple like producers and directors were talking about like the golden era of sitcoms when you had like Bill Cosby, Martin, Fresh Prince, Different World, like, you know, all the stuff from the 90s, and how they really helped to boost the ratings of like ABC, NBC, CBS, whatever channel it was on. It really helped to bring the black viewership.
Right.
Once they got the viewership to where it needed to be, they just started tanking. Like, and then what happened? Early 2000s, what did we have? We had One on One, My Wife and Kids.
Yeah. Girlfriends, Moesha, the Parkers. Is there anything else I'm missing?
Wayne's Brothers. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Fox was more 90s, early 2000s, kind of.
Was Steve Harvey show? No, Steve Harvey show was gone by the time they did the the gentrification. D.L.
Hughley show.
Yeah, D.L. Hughley.
So like you had all these shows too, which like again, did you see any drugs, alcohol? No, these were regular black people living regular lives, showcasing their lives and how they navigate just day-to-day lives with their family members. We went from that to like House of Pain.
To who?
House of Pain.
Leave wigs alone.
No offense. It's just like, what happened to the normalcy?
And then the mama was like on crack.
Wait, what?
The mama, like, what is she? Why she gotta be on crack? Like, can't she just lose her job or something? Like, why did you? Can't she just? Can't she be addicted to pain? Addicted to pain pills?
It's not a Tyler Perry film if someone's not on drugs.
But crack.
I just have to say one thing before I go.
Crack is whack.
One thing before I go. In Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Do you know where I'm going with this? Okay, one of my favorite Tyler Perry movies. Diary of a Mad Black Woman is good. One of. Okay. So you remember when the mother was a crackhead? Again, I don't know why. But remember at the end when she just showed up at the church and started singing?
They were inspired by that.
By what?
House of Pain was inspired by that storyline.
I know that. I understand that. But going back, if this was my church and a crackhead walked up in during, let me tell you something. Black churches don't play about choir. You did not come to choir practice. One. Number two, you interrupting somebody's solo. You busting through the door singing. The ushers would have escorted you out. This is not the color purple. And I am just saying. Every time I watch it, as a kid, I loved it. As an adult, I said, now I know you did not come in these people's church singing
to the top of her lungs.
Did not come to choir practice. Hair not done. She doesn't even go here. Oh my soul say yes. Yeah. I said, oh my God. Is that a crackhead?
Where's the song? Crack.
Your mama's all crack. That ain't my mama.
Just like of all of I just feel like it's such a cheap storyline. Like of all the drugs, crack,
literally
crack.
I'm just like,
why couldn't she be addicted to like fentanyl or something? Pain, like crack.
Why couldn't she just be a pothead, Money?
Right? Why couldn't she? Yeah, like come on.
I want to say crack. Fentanyl is really serious.
I'm sorry. But my thing is just like, but crack.
I don't know. That
even the name is gross. Like booty crack. Like crack.
It was good up until the end. It was just extremely unrealistic. Coming from, I'm a church girl. So, yeah, they would have been like, please escort. Please grab her. The pastor been like, get her up out of there. I've seen it happen.
Girl.
I had people come up to the church trying to expose people. And the ushers had to come and escort. Girl, my church don't mess. My church don't mess. I ain't gonna say mess. But that,
Jerry Springer of the church.
Listen, church get a little crazy. Church folks,
I want to go to that church.
No, you don't. I don't go to that church anymore.
That's
okay. But yeah, back to it. Like with Tyler Perry, it's just like, I don't know. Like when I think of shows now that talk about like black people, black normalcy, it's not there anymore. And if it is, it got canceled. What was that show that Run the World?
Oh, yeah.
When
that
I
was
tell
a good
y'all,
show.
I was so heartbroken when I heard that got canceled.
That was a good show.
That was an amazing show. And if they touch Harlem, we're going to have a problem.
First Wives Club, I also need another season.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Before we get off this topic, because I have one question I have to ask you.
Yes,
and then before that, I want to make this point. I feel like when you said The Messenger, I feel like there was some verbiage that people was offended by in the director's speech from, what is American Fiction?
Yeah, American Fiction.
I think there was some verbiage. I can't remember exactly, but I think it was something where he said, like, there are deeper stories or broader stories to be told than the projects. I'm not quoting him verbatim. I'm not sure. When I initially listened to it, I didn't take it as, oh, these stories of people from the projects, or, you know, these stories are not deep. I did not take it as that, because I would disagree with that. I do think they're deep stories. However, I feel like in mainstream, that is what we get the most of, and that is what we are seeing get like the green light on the next season often. As well as the slavery stories, which also I think they're needed, especially since kids don't read anymore. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I feel like that's a part of our history, whether people like it or not. It's a part of our history, and I think it needs to be shown, because once you lose that part of our history, you lose like the deeper things, a part of our culture and ourselves, right? So I think people got caught up in the verbiage. What I took it as was not, these stories are not deep. And maybe he didn't mean it this way at all. So I'm not caping for this man. I don't know this man, by the way. What I took it as was, while these are the stories that mainstream are showing, we have, in totality, our culture is very broad and deep. Like, there are so many other stories to be told. Like, I want to see more black nerds on television. I want to see black witches. Like, I want to see more science fiction on television. I want to just see some simple coming, like a roll bounce, but let's make it a show. I want to see that. And they had something like that on Disney, and it got canceled. So, because we on a time schedule. As a black woman who's worked in media, what would be your advice to a young black girl looking to go into production and entertainment?
So I would definitely say network. That is so big. When I was in New York, I met so many dope people. And like, for instance, my mentor works for ESPN now, right? And I met her when she wasn't like she produced. I was working at this sports media company, and you know, I really wanted to do a segment for girls, but there were no chocolate girls, and so we were looking for a chocolate girl. And I reached out to this other girl on my team. I'm like, hey, like, do you know any other girls that are like my color? And she was like,
that's right.
She was like, yeah. I have this friend. She's really dope. Met her, and me and her are great friends, and she is an amazing source. She's an amazing resource. So reach out, like Issa Rae said, like, reach. What did she say?
Network across.
Network across. Don't network up or down. Network across. Like, I could be like, Devon, you know anybody? Or, hey girl, you know anybody that could fit this role? You will never know who someone's gonna be, because when I reached out to that girl, she is not the person that she is today. And this girl is on ESPN every day, anchoring.
I love it.
Anchoring. And I'm just so proud of her, right? I'm proud of her. And that is because I took a chance and I said, girl, I don't care who. Find me any chocolate girl that can play some basketball. I'll take her. Because I wasn't going to have no show and I had about women's sports, and everybody was mixed or white. No, like a lot of dark-skinned girls are in sports and I want her to be seen. So yeah, they found me one. So yeah, definitely network. Speak across, like get to know people. Don't be shy. I'm a little shy, but like but literally, like definitely network. Go to events. Don't be scared. Also, one thing that I'm working on myself is I really have to put my work out there. Damani be telling me, show me your work, and I'll be like, I can't. Don't hold on to your work, y'all. Actually give it to people. Take constructive criticism, like, put your stuff out there. And as I speak to you, I'm speaking to myself, okay? But that's like one of my biggest advice. It's like definitely put yourself out there because you never know what could happen. So yeah,
that was so good. That was so good. Okay, y'all, so that is the end of this segment. Y'all can see why I love her. Like, how could you not? Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Bye,
y'all.
Okay, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Oh my gosh, I just love her down. Okay, I love her down. Please let me know what you thought of our conversation. If there are any takeaways you got from Ugo. And as you guys know, I don't stress. All I do is dress and rest, okay? And together we can manifest. Love y'all. Mwah.